If you've spent any time on the internet in the last 5 years, you've seen it. A tweet, a TikTok, a YouTube comment with thousands of likes. It always says the same thing. Michael Jackson was on the Epstein list. He was in the files. He was on the island. The implication is clear. The King of Pop was part of that network. This claim has been viewed millions of times. On the surface, it makes a dark, intuitive sense. Two famous men, both surrounded by serious allegations. Of course they knew each other. Of course they were connected. It feels like it has to be true. I decided to find out if it actually is. My name is Grace. I did something most people sharing this rumor have never done. I read the documents, the flight logs, the depositions, the FBI files, the little black book, the unsealed court records. Thousands of pages in total. My goal was simple. Find the evidence that Michael Jackson was part of that criminal operation. And after going through everything, I can tell you exactly what I found, exactly what I didn't find, and exactly how one of the most viral claims on the internet was constructed. Every conspiracy starts somewhere. Something real that can be pointed to. In this case, that something is a flight log. Among the thousands of pages that make up these files, Michael Jackson's name appears exactly once. Not in a testimony, not in a police report, not in a financial record. In a pilot's log for a private jet. The document is real. On this particular flight, the route was Palm Beach, Florida, to New York City. Among the passengers listed is Michael Jackson. This is the entire foundation. Every viral post, every accusatory video traces back to this single line in this single document. There is nothing else. Now let's look at what this document actually tells us. Jackson was on a flight. He wasn't alone. The log shows he was traveling with a female companion. They flew from one major city to another. This is not a secret trip to a private island. This is not a flight to a ranch. This is the most ordinary thing a wealthy person can do, accept a ride on a private jet from another wealthy person. This individual collected celebrities. He wanted famous people around him to build legitimacy. He flew actors, politicians, scientists, and musicians on his plane constantly. If a billionaire offers you a ride on his private jet, you probably don't think twice. You just get on the plane. The flight log proves Michael Jackson took a plane ride. It does not prove he knew about anything illegal. It does not prove he participated in anything. If taking a plane ride makes you involved, then every person on that manifest is equally implicated. That's not how evidence works. But a flight log is boring. A single plane ride doesn't go viral. So the internet didn't stop there. The rumor found its next piece of ammunition in a document that looks far more official. An FBI file. You've probably seen it. The official seal, the redacted black bars. The claim is that the FBI itself investigated and confirmed Jackson's involvement. I found this file. It's real. You can download it from the FBI's public vault. But what's actually in it is not what the internet says. The file is not from that investigation. It's from 2004, created when the FBI assisted California authorities during Jackson's own legal case. A completely separate matter. The name appears in this file exactly once, in a single sentence. And that sentence has been catastrophically misunderstood. Here is the exact sentence. Public perception is fueled by Jackson's numerous past associations with other young individuals, including a past connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Read those first 4 words again. Public perception is fueled by... This is not an FBI agent stating a fact. This is an agent writing a behavioral analysis and noting what the tabloid media was saying. He is summarizing a rumor, not confirming it. This sentence sat in a file for years. It was eventually released through a Freedom of Information Act request. Someone online saw the words FBI, Jackson, and Epstein together. The headline wrote itself. FBI files reveal Jackson-Epstein connection. But the document doesn't reveal a connection. It reveals that the FBI was aware of a media narrative. The Bureau was saying, "We see what the tabloids are printing," and the internet heard, "We have a federal case." This misread FBI file gave the rumor the appearance of official authority. But the proof was an illusion, and the rumor, now armed with fake credibility, was about to get something even more powerful, a human witness. Every conspiracy theory needs a human face. For this theory, that person arrived in the form of a woman known in court documents as Jane Doe. She was one of many individuals who filed civil lawsuits against the estate. Her allegations were extensive, and buried within her lawsuit was a claim that stopped people in their tracks. She alleged that she had been taken to a ranch in New Mexico, and while there, she personally witnessed Michael Jackson engaging in serious misconduct. This wasn't a flight log. This was a sworn legal statement from someone who said she saw it with her own eyes. The internet exploded. Major outlets covered it. For people who already believed Jackson was guilty, this was final confirmation. Someone had spoken. But the version of this story that went viral was missing the most important part. The ending. At a later date, under a more rigorous legal proceeding, Jane Doe was deposed under oath. She recanted. Completely. Not just the part about Michael Jackson. Her entire account. She admitted, under penalty of perjury, that she had fabricated the whole thing. She confessed she had worked with her lawyers to invent the allegations in order to extract money from a compensation fund. The law firm was later investigated by federal authorities for submitting fraudulent testimony. The entire thing was untrue, and she admitted it in a court of law. Let me be clear. The only person who ever claimed under oath to have witnessed Michael Jackson participating in any crimes related to this case later admitted under oath that she was lying. There is no ambiguity. She said she made it up. The human source of the most damning accusation is a confessed, documented fabricator. But the accusation was seen by millions. The retraction was seen by almost no one. The accusation was explosive and shareable. The retraction was boring and procedural. So the accusation lives forever, while the truth sits in a court transcript that almost no one reads. We've now examined the three pieces of supposed evidence. The flight log proves nothing more than a plane ride. The FBI file is a misread summary of tabloid rumors. The Jane Doe witness admitted to lying. Each collapses under scrutiny. But the most powerful evidence of Jackson's non-involvement is the silence. It's what doesn't exist. Epstein kept a personal contact book known as the Little Black Book. It contained hundreds of names, phone numbers, and addresses, his actual network. Michael Jackson is not in it. If Jackson was part of that inner circle, his name would be there. It isn't. Now let's go to the most important source. The victims. The individuals who came forward. They have named names. Powerful names. They have no reason to protect Michael Jackson. If he was involved, they would say so. The most prominent witness is Virginia Giuffre. Her testimony has been central to the legal cases. In a 2016 deposition, she was asked a direct question under oath. Did you ever see or meet Michael Jackson in the presence of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell? Her answer is a single word: no. She never saw him. She never met him. The person whose testimony has led to convictions categorically states that Michael Jackson was nowhere near the crimes. And it's not just her. Across thousands of pages of depositions, police reports, emails, and legal motions, Michael Jackson's name is absent. Other witnesses don't mention him. Staff don't mention him. Visitor records for the private island don't contain his name. There is not a single photograph of Michael Jackson on that island. Not one. The case against Jackson on this specific issue is built on a single plane ride, a misunderstood FBI sentence, and a story that was later confessed to be false. The case for his non-involvement is a mountain of silence from every person who was actually there. At this point, the evidence is clear, but there's a deeper question. If the proof is so thin, why did so many of us believe it? The answer is uncomfortable but necessary. Michael Jackson, entirely separate from this case, faced serious allegations in his own life. The 1993 settlement, the 2005 trial, the 2019 documentary. These are real events. People have strong beliefs about Jackson's guilt or innocence in his own matters, and I am not here to litigate that. But Jackson's own controversies are the reason this other rumor worked. The human brain is a pattern-matching machine. We see two public figures surrounded by similar allegations, and we draw a line between them. It's satisfying. It makes a chaotic world feel organized. There is psychological comfort in believing all such people know each other. The media fed this. The term used to describe the plane did enormous silent work. To say, Michael Jackson flew on that plane, is technically true, but it smuggles in a universe of false implication. The nickname does the persuading, not the evidence. We have to be able to hold two complex truths at once. The accusations against Michael Jackson in his own life are serious and cause profound unease. And simultaneously, there is no credible evidence that this unease extends to the separate, specific crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. These two statements can coexist. The failure to hold them together is what produces misinformation. Jackson's own controversies provided the fuel. The internet provided the spark. The result was a viral claim that millions now believe is fact. So here we are. We started with a viral claim that felt intuitively true. We've walked through every piece of paper that supposedly proves it. What did we find? A man who took a single plane ride with a woman by his side. An FBI agent who wrote a sentence about what tabloids were saying, turned by the internet into a federal finding. A Jane Doe who told a story and then admitted she made it up. And a vast silence where evidence should be. No name in the little black book. No mention in witness testimony. No photo on the island. Nothing. I am not here to tell you what to think about Michael Jackson. That is a complex and personal question. But I am here to tell you with absolute confidence that in the specific matter of Jeffrey Epstein's criminal conspiracy, Michael Jackson was not involved. He was not a participant. He was not on the island. He was not in the inner circle. He was not in the files in any way that carries weight. He was a name on a passenger manifest, one line in one log. And from that single line, the internet built something much larger than the truth. The real story is about us. It's about how easily we can be influenced by a misread document and a viral headline. It's about how a false claim, once launched, is almost impossible to correct, because the correction will never be as exciting as the accusation. Our attention is valuable, and we have to stop spending it on things that aren't true. Thank you for taking the time to go through the actual documents with me. Subscribe, and let's do this again on the next one. I'll see you in the comments.